Out of what you might be thinking, our biggest constraint is not money, it's not time, it's not any of those things, but our biggest constraint, brothers and sisters, is focus. It's persistent focus towards one chosen direction, or towards all of our energies channeled towards one chosen path, and we actually being able to be persistent with actually sticking to that thing. And this is our biggest constraints, because just simply think about that. So suppose that you have all this stuff. So suppose that you want to become a great musician, for example. And so your philosophy will be to just do everything as you can, what is music related, and so on and so forth. So for example, how you will end up if you're choosing this path is basically you will go ahead and you will be just trying out all these new instruments all the time, and your main philosophy will be that the more you do, the better you will become. And so on some level that's true, because you will have a more holistic understanding. On the other hand, you will be able to perhaps play on 20 instruments, okay? But you will not be good, or would say excellent at any of them, because you are just simply not able to choose any of them. Because like, hey man, drums are so good, so cool. Hey man, the guitar is also so cool too. And you're, like quite decent with all those instruments, but you're just simply not good in any of them. And so this might be giving you this fake idea of, hey man, I'm like super good, I'm a super achiever, I'm like feeling super great about this whole thing. But at the end of the day, when reality comes and reality checks, you gotta realize that you just simply suck. You just simply have many things towards which you've been splitting out all of your attention and all of your energies, and you're just simply not exceeding at any of them. And so when it comes to play the guitar, then you'll be just an average guitar player, just like anyone else. And at the same time, you cannot play all those 20 instruments. Although on the other hand, if you move into producing music, that's a completely different thing, then you might be able to become the best music producer. But just to understand my example over here, the idea is to not spread ourselves wide. Just pick one fucking thing and just go towards that thing and channel all of the energies towards that thing, towards that discipline. So for example, with business, and this is perhaps how it is the most lucrative way of thinking about that. So what I've got to realize throughout the last 2 months of mine is that I've been switching business models basically back to social media marketing agency, basically marketing agency in the solar niche. And so what I've got to realize is that at the beginning, I was trying to do all these things, like setting up the Facebook ads, figuring out the lead gen, figuring out the, sales, figuring out the lead gen for the customers, basically my future clients, and also figuring out the lead gen for my own business, meaning to actually cold call and be bringing all these people. Next to that, I've been experimenting with, hey man, this business model and that business model, and so on and so forth. And I was just undecisive regarding to this whole thing, because I just simply had my focus, or I couldn't even call focus, because it was just like a widespread, I'm everywhere all the time but nowhere at the same time. And so I was doing 3 things, 4 things throughout the day, and I just simply couldn't, get the hang of this whole thing. And so yesterday something magical happened to me, meaning that I've been able to get my first guy to actually say yes to an upfront payment, which is the greatest revelation, because I do not have any testimonials, nor do I have too much experience in this shit. I mean, like, I have a little, but definitely not too much. And so at the end of the day, and also this happened with me not promising anything that is false, or not telling anything that is false. And okay man, I have these clients, I have those clients, and not lying, but like telling the actual truth. And so what have happened is that I just got to realize that, man, everything else is just a waste of fucking time. Everything else is just a waste of fucking time. Running, shooting the videos, doing all of these things, it's a waste of time. Waste of time. My purpose is to figure out sales. Because if I'm able to figure out sales in my agency, then I will have I will have a skill set that is unique, that is special, that worth a fucking lot, that worth millions. If I'm going into the consulting, so if I'm able to figure that thing out, then I can just simply move towards consulting or whatever I would like to. Then I can live like a happy millionaire. This is idea number 1. Idea number 2 is that I can keep on running this business. I can move towards a different business, and so on and so forth. But actual idea here is that I've been able to figure out one of my greatest and biggest things, and my biggest desires is to exceed in something, just be good at something, to be excellent in something, to be able to say that, hey man, I'm fucking great at this shit. And so what have happened is that I just got to realize this is the most important thing, because if that is solved, then I will not have all this need inside of myself to go out there and fucking run and chase the challenges, because I will have this freaking challenge out there. I'm fucking challenged to talk on a different language with you know, like tough guys, and you know, like have these tough negotiations out there. That's a challenge for me. Like I freaking love that shit, and I know and I feel that I'm evolving. And above that, if I've been able to figure that thing out, I've been able to figure out money. If I've been able to figure out money and also figure out the actual skill set and the actual value that I can also present from the marketplace, then basically everything is all together. And so from there on, not only that I'm more holistically fulfilled individual, but also I have basically everything together. So this is it. And so from there on, I don't have to focus on the SEO. I don't have to focus on the lead gen. I can just simply outsource the shit, because I know how to sell. Because if I know how to sell, I can be decent with lead gen, but I can just outsource and find the best guy out there who's good with lead gen and pay him. Simple as this. Because I'm able to bring in the money for the business. And so from this point on, you know, like I had all of these mini tasks, you know, on my calendar, which are like good to have, but are not high priority. So if I'm thinking rationally about this whole thing, and if we are thinking rationally about this whole thing, the initial purpose of a business is to bring in revenue as much as possible, as fast as possible. And so in my business, it works the following way. The more appointments I'm able to set, and the more calls I'm able to hop on, and the more demo calls I'm able to hop on, the more clients am I able to close, the more revenue I'm able to bring in, the faster we can go, because I can outsource the fulfillment, and so on and so forth. But the actual idea here is that this is the only thing. And so I had my calendar full of with all these unnecessary tasks of, hey, you know, figure out Instagram outreach. And yeah, that's like, theoretically speaking, that's a good thing. But at this very moment, it is just a completely, you know, like, it is just putting my attention from my main thing. Because guess what? If I can go and stick with one channel, which is lead gen with me currently, cold calls, if I'm cold calling 4 hours a day, it means that I'm able to super confident and easily set up at least 2 to 3 appointments a day. At the same time, I can have the second day following up with those guys. Suppose that I have 30 to 1 hour long conversations. It's like maximum 7 hours of work of calling. And that is easy. That is fucking nothing. Like, I used to work 12 hours a day. It's like nothing. So the goal here is that if I'm doing that and only that thing, and I'm not doing anything else, then I'm just like a rocket fucking shit. You know, like I'm just going like this, because every single day I can provenly bring in 2 appointments, and after me being able to bring in 2 appointments, then I can just actually go ahead and have 2 calls. And so if I'm just sticking with the 2, then I will have a ratio of having 10 demo calls a week. And out of them demo calls, if you're decent, then you can close someone just by freaking luck. Just by freaking luck. You don't need testimonies, you don't need anything. Just with a decent offer and with luck. And this is it, bro. And these are the numbers. But I just got to realize that basically everything that I've been using is like, hey man, like set up Instagram. I just wanted to do too much. But at this very moment, if I have more appointments, then it's actually not only driving my attention towards that thing, meaning that I'm spending, for example, 2-3 hours trying to build up that lead gen source. But next to that, I will also have to figure out hiring, and I just simply have to constantly think about that, instead of me just doubling down and figuring out sales and just only focus on sales. Because if I can, again, figure out sales, then I'm good. Because if I can figure out sales, then I'll be like, bro, like, you know, I will, and again, if I'm sticking with the cold calling, then I don't have to figure out the Instagram, because that's another thing. That's another thing, okay? So I can just simply go ahead and tell to someone like, hey bro, here's the script, do that shit, okay? Like, do that shit. I don't have to figure out something new. And this is what we do all the time, and this is a human thing that I really wanted to talk about, is that we just simply have this tendency as always, you know, like getting bored super easily, not getting our rewards from the thing that we are actually chasing primarily, or would say not chasing, but going after primarily, because we are just not able to focus, because we are just weak inside of our minds, because we just simply need this huge amount of impulse all the time, so therefore we can feel that we are achieving something. But in reality, if you're doing 10 fucking things throughout the day, you might feel achieved, you might feel accomplished, but you haven't achieved fucking shit. This is me reading 32 books a week, a year. And I mean 32 books like books, like fucking hard science books like this. And yeah, like I had great ideas and I was like good, and I learned how to write and all the shit, but on my journey of entrepreneurship, it didn't fucking help me. I didn't even learn how to write because I was like all the time like new ideas, new books, and I just felt so accomplished. Hey man, today I was reading. Today I was researching products for dropshipping. Today I've been putting and something new all the time, and I was associating new with progress. But new is not equals progress, brother. New doesn't necessarily equals progress, because in the very beginning we're just so enthusiastic and just like so good. Hey man, like yes, like new thing, and I'm falling back the same fucking trap. Since I'm doing the boring shit, and since with the boring shit I'm not getting results, I'm just like skipping to the next thing. And this is our humanness. This is our thing. It's like, hey man, like this diet doesn't work. Like I'm not sticking with it. I'm quitting gym. I'm quitting diet. The same thing with everything. This is a universal principle that we have to understand over here. And the only freaking antidote in the universe that exists to cure that thing is to actually fucking focus. And how to focus, the best thing is to stick with the thing, because if you're only sticking with that thing like in a monk mode setting, it means that your only source of joy, this is philosophical over here a tiny bit, can only come from that thing. And so if you're doing that thing, then your joy will come from that thing, meaning that not only that you will investing in more time and will have more feedback, but you will not have anything else to distract you from that thing. And combining this positive, like going in, and negative forces, then you can actually go ahead and be like, hey, I'm doing calling only. And I'm feeling fucking good because this is the only thing that I've been focusing on today. And I've been setting up 3 appointments. And I had 2 demo calls. I fucked up both of them. I've been setting up 3 appointments. Tomorrow I'm starting this shit over. And tomorrow I'll be setting up 4 appointments. And not only that you're doing this, but you're actually getting good. You're getting better. And so this is the approach that I think that we are supposed to have towards life, because the more we do, the less we do. This is how this works, and this is a crucially important principle of business, but also I do think that is a super relevant and decisive principle in life in general. Because without focus, you're just everywhere but nowhere. And I'm just suffering from this shit for so fucking long. Yesterday the ice broke because I just got to realize that, what the fucking hell are you doing, man? Like, you don't have to look for another business. Just like make your fucking decision. And no matter what, call. And that doesn't even 8 hours a day, doesn't even 12 hours a day, just like 4 fucking hours. Simple. I mean 6, because 4 calls lead gen and 2 calls sales, 2 hour sales. And that is fucking low level. But yeah, so I really wanted to share this principle with you, brother, because it was like enlightening for me. So, of my love.